Looking for Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins? IG Vault has the cheapest and most reliable coins on the market. Click the link in the description and use coupon code SPORTS for 6% off your order. Yo, what's good everybody? It's Duke back here from sportsgamers.com. In today's Madden 21 video, we're going to break down hands down the best run offense in the game. We're going to show you guys how you can easily attack and beat any run defense out there that you're going to see online or whatever. It's going to be 3 plays and they're going to complement each other to make a great scheme. So guys, you know that this year, man coverage is really OP, and like right now the meta on defense that everyone seems to be doing is they're using a lot of one step aheads. Really, if you play MUT, probably 4. And because of this, people are starting to run the ball a lot more because it can make passing the ball difficult. The thing is, most people have good run D this year. Most people seem to stretch, the power, the inside zone, all that crap a million times, and they know to stop it. So if you're going to run the ball, you're going to need to have a good run scheme that kind of catches people off guard. And that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to break down something new that's going to catch people off guard. Now, I'm in the run and gun playbook on offense, and I'm going to break down a 3-play scheme from the Wildcat trips over. And you probably are wondering, the Wildcat? Yes, guys. It is super tough, very, very hard to stop, very consistent, and very explosive at the same time. So, we're going to break down these 3 plays. Before we do, I just want to make sure to remind you guys, if you're enjoying my content, hey, hit that subscribe button in the bottom of the video. Just takes a second. Turn your notifications on. And also, give us a like, man. It does help us out a lot. So, as far as subs, you can use different packages. I mean, obviously, where you see Nick Chubb, that's going to be the key guy in this scheme. So you want to have your best player here. You could use the receiver package if you want to get a receiver in. If you maybe have a Lamar Jackson, you want to use a quarterback, use the QB package. But besides that, the second most important guy is where you see Kareem Hunt. So, because he will be on the jet sweep if you choose to use a jet sweep. So make sure there's an explosive player there as well. So the 3 main plays we're going to look at are the power, the jet sweep, and the counter. Now, the power is the best one overall. It's my favorite one to use against all the kind of like the meta stuff that people do. Like, for instance, big nickel over G. We're going to focus a lot on this. This is very common against the run. I'd say the 2 most common you're going to see are probably big nickel over G and also nickel 3-5 wide. All right? As you guys know, people will pinch to the line and just come up in here with their user, try to shoot the gap, right? Well, this power is going to kill this defense. Sometimes people do it from man and cover too, and we'll show you examples of each. And they're going to really have no shot of blowing this up. So you guys are going to see, let's just take a look at the replay, or run this once and then look at the replay. You guys are going to see a huge hole open up. Now, I know I only got about 4 to 5 there because I kind of like didn't hit the hole as quickly as I should have, and someone shedded. But we're going to do it again. You're going to see the same thing. So this time I actually just cut it back out to the outside after I cut it inside. And I mean, I almost take it to the crib. The thing about the power is because the way the Wildcat blocks with the power with the pulling guard, it's very hard to shoot with the user. So as you guys can see here, they're lined up over the center, and the hole they're normally going to shoot through, well, now you got 75 coming through ready to block. So at this point, I just have to read kind of my blocking scheme. So I'm going to kind of just show you guys how I kind of read it. But I can see that 75 is going to get the linebacker, and now I can kind of just, cut through the hole, and I cut around my block to the edge, and, at this point, like, we're off. We're off to the races, really. It's that simple. You guys are going to see another example real quick, then I'll switch to some other defenses. Now, I do want to remind you guys, if you're enjoying this content, make sure to check out sportsgamers.com. We get the best Madden 21 tips and ebooks, offense and defense, everything you guys need to dominate. So, again, just to show you the consistency of this, this time we cut a little bit further to the outside. Again, huge run to the edge, break a tackle or 2, get some extra yardage. So you guys can see that with the first time we ran it, I think we got about 4 to 5 yards. So you can get those consistent gains, but then you can also get those huge gains that I just got just now, where you're getting bigger gains. So it's not only consistent, but it's explosive too. Now we're gonna switch it up to cover 2. Cover 2 is effective as well. People, like I said, people try to do the same concept from man, from zone. So we're going to do cover 2 once or twice, and then we'll look at man-to-man, and then we'll even switch formations. So again, same kind of thing. It's cut back, easy yards. We can go ahead and flip the formation if you guys want to look at it flipped. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day because, remember, we do have the ability to run the counter. So if they're overloading the right, we can just hit them with the counter to the left. That's one of the things I really like about this formation. Also, if people are getting really aggressive, you're going to see the jet sweep is a great play to call. As again, we get about 4 yards there. So like you're seeing, big runs, but even when it gets a little bit better defended, we're still getting at least 4 yards. But the jet sweep, that's a great play to call when they get overly aggressive and start to maybe try to blitz you heavily, run like especially man-to-man type blitzes. It's a great counter to that, as you guys are going to see in a second here. But I want to look at this against man too. You know, it's also good against man coverage. Doesn't really matter if they're playing man or zone. It's still going to be the same blocking overall. You guys can see, you know, we got a nice little hole, kind of get a touchdown, you know? So, very effective against that. Now, another one that people use a lot, like I said, is the 3-5 wide. There's a few different ways people run this, but what they tend to do is they tend to shift their D-line kind of to the strong side of the formation. Sometimes they'll use man, sometimes they'll use the cover 3. But normally cover 3 or cover 1 is the most common. And in either case, the power still works. Like most times people will shift their D-line away from, or I'm sorry, to the strong side of the formation, which, you know, because we have the tight end 85 in the backfield on the right, they're probably going to shift it that way. So you might think just because they shifted their D-line to the right, you would want to run away from the right, and that's really not the case. You can still run to the right even though they did that just fine, as you guys can see here. Get a block or two, and we're out for another touchdown. The blocking on this play is so good. I mean, it really is. It destroys the meta, but at the same time, I do want to show you guys, I'm just going to go random play on defense in a second here, just to show you that even if they do run random defenses and just stuff you're not really, you know, used to seeing too much, it still beats that too. As you guys can see here, just a huge hole, a gaping hole that we're able to follow through, get that good blocking, and, you know, again, we're just around the corner for an easy touchdown or big play. Now, I do want to put it on random before we move on to the other plays. I'm going to show you guys how it works against random defenses, and then I want to show you guys what I like to use the counter and the jet sweep for. So, again, the power is kind of the bread and butter play that you just want to use against anything, whereas the jet sweep and the counter are kind of what you want to run when they hit you with something that you're not really, you know, maybe they over-adjust to the power and they leave other weaknesses. That's when you want to attack with specific defenses with either the jet sweep or the counter. Again, you guys can see very good yardage against these random Bs. We're going to do one more example, and then we're going to move on to showing you how to utilize the counter, okay? So, again, this is pretty weak up the middle. You know, only got about 3. We're actually going to do one more. That linebacker really did a great job there, I'm not going to lie. That's the first play. I didn't really like the way the blocking was. And then we're right back to the next play of potentially a touchdown. But even the play that I said I didn't really like, I think I got 3 yards. So, again, 3-4 yards at the worst, doing a good job. And you've seen multiple huge runs, if not touchdowns, in this video already. So let's go ahead and now let's show you when I like to utilize the counter. So to me, the counter is very specific. I only really utilize, and we're going to put auto flip on now, by the way. I only really utilize the counter when somebody's doing something like shifting their, like over-adjusting, shifting their D-line, just obviously loading up on the strong side. So like something like this, to where they just shift their D-line, linebackers, whatever. They just align the defense to a point where it's like obvious, you know, I need to shift them to the right. It's obvious that they're overplaying the right side of the formation. Something like this, like if I see this, I'm definitely going to run the counter because the counter's going to go back left. We get that pulling guard. We can attack them that way. Easy yardage. Another example would be the 3-5 wide defense I just showed you guys, where if they shift their D-line to the strong side over and over and over again, and they don't really respect the counter, then that's definitely a great time to run that as well. So like here, let's just go with the counter, shift the D-line to the strong side, and we're going to be good to go. So again, same thing here, and we're going to go again. We want to make sure that we get this nickel over on this side, just because again, you only want to run the counter when they're aligning their defense to the right. Which I mean, even though I guess technically you do have 2 receivers on the left, obviously the blocking is a little bit better to the right with this tight end lined up behind the tackle. So you know that's what I mean by that. So again, you guys can see here, defense gets over aggressive. You know, nice yardage. I don't think the counter is near as consistent, but it definitely is good if you see them over adjusting, like kind of aligning their defense more to the right than to the left, okay? Now, the jet sweep, I run this when they get very aggressive. And what do I mean by aggressive? Like, if I see someone come out and just try to, like, blitz the crap out of me, like, get guys shooting through the gaps and, you know, just try to attack me with blitzes and, like, not really just just play too aggressive, basically. Maybe I see something like the 2-4-5, the mid blitz that a lot of people utilize. Well, if I see this, I'm definitely running the jet sweep because I know that with all these blitzers trying to hit the gaps in the middle, it's going to be an easy run to the edge, just like this. You guys can see here. Again, ideally, I'd have someone faster than Hunt there. But, even then, it didn't even matter because the blocking was just so good. I don't need to do much, when I have Hunt just coming around this corner like this. Look, see what I'm saying? If they're going to line up and try to attack the gaps to blitz you, that's when the jet sweep is really effective. Just gets around that edge. Easy, easy, easy touchdown. And again, that's not fluke. We could do the exact same thing again, and maybe we won't score a touchdown. But you're basically going to see the same thing happen is the edge gets sealed really good when they try to get in these aggressive defenses, and you're going to be just, all you need is the edge to be blocked, and you're off to the races. So that time someone came off their block, even if he tackled me, I still would have had a nice 10 yards, though. So these 3 plays just make a scheme that's really, really hard to stop. Again, the counter is the bread and butter. The power is the bread and butter, and the jet sweep and the counter are kind of like the plays that you use to keep the defense honest. You don't want someone just blitzing you like crazy up the middle, run jet sweep. You don't want someone shifting their whole defense to the right, you run the counter. When you combine the 3, you got unstoppable run scheme. Again, this is in the run and gun offensive playbook. For those that missed it in the beginning, this is in the run and gun playbook. As far as abilities and all that are concerned, you don't need any of that, but you definitely can use, like if you get an ability on the player that's taking the direct snap, to, increase, obviously, your run game. You could do that, break tackles, make people miss. You could have some abilities on the O-lineman maybe to give yourself better blocking, but really at the end of the day, all you need is somebody taking that snap that you feel comfortable with, running the ball with, and then also the guy that's on the jet sweep, you really just want speed with him. You want him to be explosive. Doesn't need to be anything crazy, though. Hope you guys enjoyed this scheme. Until next time, it's Duke. I'm out of here.